plays that made the difference. This is SportsCenter.
I consider him the greatest coach of all time. When he looks at you and tell you that you're made for this moment, it's like the most confidence you can be given.
Now, here's Sage Steele and David Lloyd.
Reunited.
Back.
And it feels, it's been a long time. Good to see you back here, David Lloyd. Okay, it only took 7 games for the Luke Walton's going to get fired rumors to begin. Yep. Now, just 9 left in the regular season. The rumors are flying again, and his rumored replacement spoke about it today. We'll hear from Jason Kidd.
Okay, we also have football, the NFL offseason. We know it's highlighted by free agency and the draft. An underrated element to the offseason, tinkering with the rule book. Things may look a little different come September. Let's take a look at some of the hot topics as the NFL owners meeting is underway in Phoenix. The Broncos proposed a rule where teams could forego an onside kick in the fourth quarter once and remain on offense if they convert on a 4th and 15. We'll have to see if that gets passed. Could be fun. What's not fun is the NFL considering keeping players who are on the sidelines from joining in on celebrations. This after the league loosened restrictions on celebrations before 2017. The Chiefs proposed a rule where both teams would be guaranteed an overtime possession. That rule could have helped them in the AFC title game when New England won the toss and scored a touchdown to win the game. And the NFL is considering making certain penalties reviewable, most notably pass interference penalties, though that might not address the NFC Championship game controversy. Here's Sal Paolantonio with much more.
The NFL has had 2 months to figure out what to do about this, perhaps the worst non-call in pro football postseason history. But with no apology to New Orleans or football fans all over America, the NFL Competition Committee recommendation to the 32-team owners has been to do nothing. Sources here say there is no support for an 8th official in the booth, the so-called sky judge, to correct calls in real time. The newly formed Alliance of American Football employs a sky judge who has corrected 1 non-call in 28 games so far this season. One member of the competition committee told me, "It's a slippery slope. We don't want the game on the field to be constantly second-guessed. Let's just make the officiating better." But the NFL is focused on creating more oversight by making pass interference a reviewable play. In the last 3 years, 24 of 50 incorrect calls studied by the league were defensive pass interference. According to league stats, of all the penalties that most impact win probability, 70% of them are defensive pass interference. Just ask the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC Championship game 2 years ago.
Sal Paolantonio reporting. Our NFL insider, Adam Schefter, will join us in just a few minutes from Phoenix in the owners' meetings as we continue to look at some of the potential rule changes that could affect the upcoming season.
To the NBA, questions about Luke Walton's job security have been percolating all season long. Now the season winding down, Lakers set to miss the playoffs for the 6th straight year. Speculation about Walton's future heating up once again. And here's what our Adrian Wojnarowski tweeted yesterday about Jason Kidd. Quote, "Kidd will be among the serious candidates for the Lakers coaching job if Luke Walton is dismissed," league sources tell ESPN. As expected to give Kidd some pause on pursuing the Cal opening now. End quote. Coincidentally, Jason Kidd, the 2018 Hall of Famer, who of course played at Cal and is rumored to be a candidate for that job. Well, Kidd was on the jump today with Rachel Nichols. Listen.
There's been all kinds of rumors about you and the Lakers. That job is currently held by Luke Walton, as you know. How interested are you in waiting off on Cal or anything that comes up in college to get an NBA job?
I'm going to be patient in this process, but, you know, what Luke's done in L.A. with all the injuries and everything that's gone on, I think he's done an incredible job, and they have a coach. And so we'll wait till the season's over to see what opportunities come about, and hopefully there's one that fits.
Would you have any interest in coaching a guy like LeBron?
Man, you guys are asking all the great questions. You know, when you talk about the best player in the world, you always are going to say yes. Because as a coach or as a teammate, he's always going to make you better. Because you're going to work. As a coach, X and O's, you got to be on point. And as a teammate, you're going to work extremely hard because you know he's going to need you to make that shot or come up with a defensive play. And so that would be a great honor to coach any elite basketball player. And I've got that opportunity Giannis, and hopefully somewhere down the road I can have another star.
ESPN NBA senior writer Brian Windhorst is on the jump with Jason Shea, as you saw. And first of all, Brian, I hate talking about all this while Luke Walton still has the Lakers coaching job. However, I digress. We got to do it. When you look at Jason Kidd's resume as a head coach, it's nothing to write home about, frankly. His record is under 500 with the Nets and the Bucks. He won one playoff series, and the Bucks have really taken off since they fired him and hired Mike Budenholzer. So what do you think? Why would the Lakers believe that Jason Kidd could be a good fit?
Well, I think it's clear from what he said today that he's very interested in the job, Sage. I think he wants to be respectful of Luke Walton. He was several times. The thing about Jason Kidd and LeBron James is the difficulty with coaching LeBron. One of the difficulties is he has to respect you. And he really has to respect you when you walk in the room. It's much harder to sell respect over the course of time. That's something that Jason Kidd absolutely would have. Not only did he play against him many times, but he's also has great respect for the way he played even before when LeBron was learning the game. So that's something that Jason Kidd brings to the table, and that's why he would be a serious candidate if the Lakers decide to make a coaching change because of that respect level that he brings.
Okay. The biggest problem with this Lakers team, though, I don't think it's their head coach, their overall roster. So how does all of this affect their ability to land the top free agents that they need?
Exactly correct. That's one of the reasons I asked Jason on the jump today, is the Lakers' job still an attractive job? Do people still want it? And he said, yes, they do. But no matter who the coach is, I don't think it's going to matter with these free agents. And here's one of the reasons. Look at all of those names on the left side of the screen. You know what Durant, Kawhi, Kyrie, and Klay Thompson have in common? They all have rings. And so nobody's going to want to come to L.A. and maybe deal with the headache when they already have a ring and can go elsewhere. And that's a huge hurdle no matter who is hired as head coach.
That's Brian Windhorst. Back to talk Kyrie and the Celtics coming up here on SportsCenter. Thanks, Brian. David?
Sage, the NFL owners' meetings, as we said, in Phoenix this week. Some potential rule changes. The league is considering making certain penalties reviewable, most notably pass interference penalties, though that might not address the controversy from the NFC Championship game. For more on that, we bring in our NFL insider, Adam Schefter, who is there in Phoenix. There's the glaring no calls we just showed in the NFC Championship game. Nickel Roby-Coleman clearly interfered with Tommy Lee Lewis, Adam. So what's the likelihood there's a rule change which addresses that scenario?
Well, David, that's not going to happen this offseason. The NFL is not going to come up with a rule that would nullify that play and give that game to the Saints in the future, because they're not going to make plays in which there's no penalty called reviewable. There was no penalty called. What are you going to review on that play? They're discussing ways to improve the officiating right now. Maybe they eliminate the all-star officiating squads that have been going on in years past. Maybe they don't. But again, those conversations are continuing. There's an emphasis to see if they could do something there. So far, nothing there. But they have discussed an onside kick play, limiting that in the future, where you could have a play on the offensive side of the football on a 4th and 15 play, as opposed to trying the onside kick to regain possession of the football. If you convert the 4th and 15, you keep the ball. If you don't convert the 4th and 15, you don't keep the ball. And teams would have a choice to do that once later in the game, onside kick or 4th and 15.
Onside kicks have become very hard to recover by the kicking team. We'll see how that one plays out. Meanwhile, Saturday, Patriots owner Robert Kraft apologized in a statement after being charged in a prostitution investigation. He arrived this afternoon there at the owners' meetings. What's been the league reaction to his situation, Adam?
Well, David, I think the other owners are saying we are staying out of the way. You heard John Mara, the co-owner of the New York Giants, say that it is none of the business of the other owners to comment on this particular case at this particular time while the legal process is still unfolding. And Robert Kraft wants to be vindicated here. He doesn't believe that he did anything wrong. He made it clear in his statement that he was not a part of this human trafficking scheme down in South Florida, and that the two women that he was involved with there are two licensed therapists. Older woman at this point in time. And so he's trying to explain his way without saying too much about the case while letting the legal process unfold.
The owners' meetings wrap up Wednesday. Kraft has an arraignment hearing Thursday, though he is not expected to attend. Adam Schefter giving us the very latest from Arizona.
Patriots won the Super Bowl, so they get to